Let's talk about the bars. Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States at our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. Today I was talking to an international student whose SEVIS record had been terminated. That is, his status in the United States as an international student had been terminated back in November of last year, which, as of the time of this recording, was about 8 months ago. And so what I had the sad duty to tell him was that he now has a 3-year bar on re-entering the United States. So while he's in the United States, the bar does not kick in. But if he steps across the border to go to Canada or Mexico, or if he flies back home, because he's been out of status for more than 6 months, but less than 1 year, he will have accrued unlawful presence, and he has brought himself a 3-year bar. A 3-year bar as someone who had their status terminated more than 6 months ago. I told him that if it goes beyond 1 year, if he stays in the United States beyond the 1 year of the termination of his SEVIS record, his F1 student status, then he would have a 10-year bar if he leaves the United States. Now, the bars can be fixed. So there could be someone who came 10 years ago and has been out of status for more than 10 years, and if they marry a U.S. citizen and apply for a green card, then their status is reinstated and the bar goes away. But the bar gets triggered when you leave the United States. So you always need to keep that in mind. There may be ways to remove the bar if you adjust status in the United States. Now, that's only going to work based on marriage to a U.S. citizen, or if you happen to have a 21-year-old child who's a U.S. citizen. Otherwise, that bar could kick in if he leaves the United States. Now, in our office, if someone is subject to a bar and they apply for a marriage-based green card, sometimes they ask, can I leave the United States on advance parole while my green card case is pending? We get very nervous about that. We would want the person to stay in the United States until the green card is gone, and then we know the bar is gone. Might be overly cautious, but that's always what we recommend to our clients. So remember, if you're in the United States and you've been out of status for more than 6 months and less than 1 year, then you have a 3-year bar if you leave the United States, even if it's just for a day. And if you've been inside the United States for more than 1 year without status and you leave, then you have a 10-year bar. That means that even though you have a U.S. citizen spouse or some other compelling reason to come to the United States, you are barred on coming to the United States. Now, you might be eligible for a waiver if you can show that it would be some extreme hardship to a U.S. citizen of a qualifying relative who would suffer greatly if you weren't allowed to come back to the United States. But you can't bank on that. Those cases are really expensive, really hard, and really, really slow. That would add years to your immigration process. So we have had people who have inadvertently kicked off the bar by leaving the United States when they really shouldn't have. I had a case once where a doctor had applied for his mother. They thought they were going to do consular processing. She came to visit. She got an interview notice back home. They kept postponing it because the doctor was so busy and he knew everything. And then by the time the mom and the son went back to Jordan for the interview, she had incurred a 3-year bar and she wasn't able to come back even though she was the mother of a U.S. citizen. That's the kind of mistakes we're talking about. Those are the things you need to think about. If you've been outside of valid status for a long time inside the United States and you have a bar, or you think you might have a bar, that could keep you from being able to get the immigration benefits that you want. So if you have questions about waivers, if you're thinking about applying for an application that might involve a waiver or involve a bar and you need our legal help, give us a call, 314-961-8200, or email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. If you're just looking for information, you can join our Immigrant Home Facebook group. You can follow me on TikTok @ImmigrationHacking. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. We have hundreds and hundreds of videos. And we also have our Immigration Answer Show, which is me 3 or 4 times a week trying to answer as many immigration law related questions as possible. Thanks a lot.